Totally Useless Information with Nick and Roy is brought to you in part by Tom's Place, the finest in men's fashion, located in Toronto at 190 Baldwin Street, in the heart of Kensington Market. Or visit toms-place.com. Celebrating 5 years. This is Totally Useless Information with Nick and Roy. Listen, laugh, and learn.
We all use batteries, but who invented the first battery?
Wow. If you created a sitzmark, what exactly happened? Hi, I'm Nick.
And I'm Roy. And this week, and for the past 5 years, and hundreds of episodes, we have been searching the internet and scouring the internet to find out these totally useless information tidbits just for you.
Plus, we'll answer your question in the mailbag segment, and a listener there wants to know about the fear of thunder. What a wuss. And in the news, get up and boogie in the disco, John.
Totally useless information. It's everything you never needed to know.
You don't get a rest in that restroom.
No, you don't, and platform shoes not required.
Innovations. Ideas. The Totally Useless Information Podcast presents Inventions.
She sounds so authoritative, doesn't she?
She's very authoritative.
That voice lady. Hey, thanks very much for joining us. Yes, we are just about approaching, well, next week, you will hear the very merry, totally useless Christmas show around the world. And that means that because we're in 75 different countries, we will attempt, in the 1 hour, to give you Christmas traditions from every single one of those 75 countries. Will we make it to the end of the hour? Who knows? Plus, I'll tell you all about how much the 12 days of Christmas would cost in 2024. But enough about Christmas. Here's an invention that I think all of us have played as kids, played with, actually.
What? You're playing with something?
Yes, we played with the Frisbee.
Yes.
Ancient Greeks were the ones that basically competed in discuses from the 8th century BC. They threw other disc-like objects throughout the centuries, but at the end of the 19th century, the Frisbee family opened up a bakery in Connecticut. So students from Yale University bought the Frisbee pies and cookies and reused the tins and lids as discs to throw. And the word Frisbee, of course, was stamped on each pie pan. So it was a Frisbee family pie pan.
How cool. How cool.
So meantime,
this is why people listen to this show.
But wait a minute, that's not even the invention. So what this guy did on the West Coast of the United States, inventor Fred Morrison, he'd been throwing cake tins and developing them into discs to sell. He eventually called them Pluto platters. And in 1955, the founders of the toy company Wham-O, remember Wham-O? They saw Morrison selling his discs in L.A., and then basically, before you know it, Wham-O produced Pluto platter Frisbees. And so then eventually they changed it to just Frisbees. And millions of them have been sold over the years.
It'd be nice to get my hands on a Pluto platter, one that says that, right?
Yeah, exactly.
The original water pump was invented by an ancient Greek. His name, Archimedes.
Oh, yes.
He invented the screw-like gears that would be able to transform water into a movement to pump the water and create irrigation. Those screw-like gears are called the Archimedes screw.
Yeah.
Which would eventually give people the ability to move water from, let's say, a river hundreds of miles to another place. So it is because of Archimedes that we have the original water pump.
I'm pumped just hearing about it. Now, I don't. In all the years that we know each other, we're
playing with things and pumping things. So get on with the show.
Exactly. Now, I know we know each other many years, the 40+ years of friendship. I'm not sure. Were you ever a fan of mosh pits? Have you ever attended one?
You know, I like mashed potatoes.
No.
But,
so it's a particular concert where there's a mosh pit, okay? So now here's a problem. The problem is that, when you're in the middle of the mosh pit, you're crowded, and then what if you have to go to the bathroom?
Well, that's why they call them mosh pits.
Well,
Nick.
well, have I got a product for you?
Introducing the Pit Diaper from Liquid Death. Now you never have to leave the pit or worry about leaks ever again. Powered by Depend Guards, the Pit Diaper locks away recycled Liquid Death mountain water, flavored sparkling or iced tea, and helps neutralize odor instantly. The Pit Diaper offers trusted all-show protection. Your limited edition Pit Diaper by Liquid Death and Depend today. Hurry, supplies are extremely limited. Now, thanks to the Pit Diaper, you can rock out with your in.
Yeah. So basically what it is, it's a product that's like the pens, but it's in pleather. And so you wear it, and this way you don't have to worry about it.
I'm going to tell you, the fact is, folks, this stuff is true.
Yes. Yes, it is.
We're all going to hell in a handbasket.
Because of this product, you're never going to miss your favorite song or worry about leaks ever again, according to the product.
Wow.
Yeah.
Insane.
Yes.
What do you think the father of computers? Who do you think that would be? The father of computers?
Some guy named Windows.
No. You would think it would be like one of the guys from Apple or IBM or whatever.
Yeah.
But no, his name is Charles Babbage. And he conceptualized the analytical engine that would run the early computers. He conceptualized what the processor needed to analytically decipher information. And I know that's very complicated, but his name was Charles Babbage. He will go down in history as nobody because nobody knows who he is unless you're a real computer geek.
I'm sitting here and all of a sudden I see this fly. I'm like, I'm just going to grab my fly swatter. Got it. Aha. Who invented
Nice segue, Nick. But Nick only noticed the fly because he has said in the beginning that he was playing.
No, not that kind of fly. No. I'm talking about an actual fly, which, by the way, from our very first episode 5 years ago, we found out that the average fly hums in the key of F. Okay, Damn, useless information. So there are medieval woodcuts that show similar insect swatting devices, but the fly swatter as we know it today was invented in 1905 by a school teacher named Frank H. Rose. He was inspired to do so by the Kansas State Board of Health, who was at the time at a campaign to rid Kansas of flies. So Rose called his invention, made of wire screening attached to a yardstick, a fly bat. It was renamed to fly swatter by Dr. Crumby, who was part of the Kansas State Board of Health.
And that worked out so well that right now the flies are running the State Board of Kansas.
Yes, exactly. Flies up the nose of all those people who invented it.
Yeah, well, time flies when you're a fly.
Right.
So who invented the first battery was my tease.
Yes.
Okay, it was called the volcanic pile. Who invented the first battery? It was called the volcanic pile. It was in 1800, which shocked me too that it was that long ago. But it was invented by a guy named Alessandro Volta. Volts.
Yes.
Gets its name from Alessandro Volta. He was so into electric. He was like the Tesla of his time, but he invented the battery in 1800 and called it the Voltic pile.
Well, I was trying to think because, you have different sizes of batteries. Yes. And so I looked it up while you were talking. In 1924, a group of people from the battery industry, along with several manufacturers and government agencies, they came up with a standard system of battery sizes. And so they used letters of the alphabet, A, B, C, D, and E, etc.
And then that poor 9-volt battery just gets in there.
Yeah, exactly. My tongue is tingling as we speak because how did you
I
test to
know.
see?
Why did
Right.
everybody touch it to their tongue? What's wrong with us?
All you have to do is say is mention the 9-volt battery, and I'm sure everyone in the audience, their tongue
Nick.
started to tingle.
Nick, I'm shocked that people would do that.
Yes, exactly. Of course, Roy came up with Roy's high school nickname was Ever Ready. Think about it. Here's another invention. So the door kept slamming. So what I had to do is I had to grab a doorstop.
Ooh.
And I'm thinking, well, who came up with the idea of taking this wedge of wood or plastic or whatever and put it under the door so that the door wouldn't close or slam?
Sure. Who thought that?
Well, in 1775, they came into use following the introduction of the rising butt. It's a type of hinge designed to close a door automatically. That's what it's called, a rising
I
butt.
knew a girl in high school. They used to
Exactly.
call her the rising butt.
Credit for the invention of the doorstop, of course, was granted to Osborne Dorsey. He was an inventor. In 1878, received a U.S. patent number 210764, in case you're wondering what the patent number is for the doorstop.
So there was this guy. His name was Garrett Morgan.
Yeah.
Garrett Morgan was standing on a corner when he noticed that two cars just smashed into each other.
Right.
And he said, there's got to be a better way. So Garrett Morgan, he invented the first traffic signal,
Oh, okay. Great.
which would greatly save lives in the future because he had no idea what he invented. It would be on every corner, just about. And after inventing that, he also invented the first prototype gas mask.
Oh,
So this guy was a true inventor because he was all over the place.
he was. And you know, I think the slogan for traffic signals. So what year was it invented?
I don't have the actual year,
Okay.
but I do know that when he went to a company with the patent, he was late because of all those traffic signals.
Right, exactly. Because I was going to say traffic signals being ignored for years because people go right through them.
Nick and Roy will continue with totally useless information. We're back with totally useless information with Nick and Roy. Listen, laugh, and learn.
You're listening to Totally Useless Information with Nick and Roy. We just plowed through with totally useless information. Thank you for joining us. If you visit our website, nickandroy.com, and you click on the Nick and Roy store, you know what you'll find? You'll find our faces. And I'm sorry, but you'll find our faces along with your opportunity to purchase a birthday message for your loved one. And what is our birthday message, Roy?
Why bother watching a horror movie when you could look at pictures of Nick and I? No, go to the Nick and Roy store on nickandroy.com and you will find our birthday messages. You click on it, there is a sample. You will hear the greatest gift known to man. Honestly, we have gotten so many emails for these birthday messages. I can't even tell you. We've gotten emails from people that have heard the birthday message that we've made for other people.
Yep.
And how amazing and fun and they're just heartwarming, and that you can actually give us information and we customize a mini show just for that person about the day that they were born, and then we put some personal information in. If you give us some hints, we really scour the internet and find out all kinds of stuff just for you. So go to nickandroy.com, click on the Nick and Roy store, go to the sample. You'll be happy you did.
nickandroy.com.
Where do expressions come from? We want to know right now.
This is one of the original topics and the original jingle that we created 5 years ago of Totally Useless Information with Nick and Roy. From bottle to the throttle, pilots and flying, it's the FAA's bottle to throttle rule. It's the number of hours before a flight that a pilot must stop drinking alcohol. Well, I hope. It's a rule that many pilots have heard of but wish they knew the specifics before they were pulled from the cockpit just prior to departure. So I guess they failed. Well, thankfully, they did. So the FAA rulebook states that a pilot may not use alcohol within 8 hours of flight and cannot have a blood alcohol content above 0.04%.
Yeah, you wouldn't want that.
No, I heard a comedian do a great bit. He was like a drunk pilot. Good afternoon and welcome to the, whatever airline. And, it's really hysterical. I will start flying as soon as I wake up from my nap.
I love this one. and I can't believe we haven't gotten this yet.
Okay.
How many episodes?
Yes.
Cat got your tongue.
Oh, meow.
In Old England, if you did something wrong, you would get whipped or what they call flogged
Okay.
with a cat and nine tails.
Oh.
It was said to be so painful that the victims were left speechless. So the cat got their tongue.
Ah, that's great. That's when you write down, cat got your tongue. So we always encourage everyone when you listen to the show that you listen to the show and you bring a pencil, a pen, eyeliner, crayon, whatever, and a piece of paper to write this stuff down, or just hit rewind, or if you're listening on the radio, write really quickly. I knew one of the radio announcers, he's like, if you'd like a transcript of this program, start writing now. Here's my teaser. Sitzmark. Do you know what that is? It's a German word.
No, what's it? Yeah, sitzmark und sitzmark.
It's a sunken area in the snow made by a fallen skier. Okay.
Oh.
So it's from the German, which is a compound of sitzen or sit, and mark, which is a visible impression. So sitzmark is your butt mark basically in the snow when you've fallen as a skier.
Sitzmark.
Sitzmark.
Sitzen Sie an Sitzmark.
Awesome.
I got another great one, Nick, that I can't believe we haven't had on the show.
Okay.
I can't believe, because, folks, we've done so many shows that it's hard to find new expressions that some of these shows we've done.
Yes.
But this one, I can't believe we never had. The walls have ears.
Oh.
It's an expression. Shh, be quiet, because the walls have ears.
Okay.
Why do we say that? Well, Queen Catherine de' Medici had tubes put into the walls of her palace, the Face le Louvre Palace.
Right, yeah. Oh, I love your French.
The Louvre.
Oh, right.
I thought that was a toilet. But anyway.
Yes.
But she had these tubes put in the wall so she could put her ear on the tube and hear what was going on in the rooms next to her, so she could get all of the scoop on her political rivals. So the walls did have ears.
That's great. Now, we did have a similar expression from what I remember in all of the past 5 years of Totally Useless Information with Nick and Roy. We've heard about the expression, if I were a fly on the wall.
Yeah, there you go.
So it was very similar to that. And the reason that expression, if I remember correctly, was apparently flies have great hearing.
Do they?
I was going to wait for you.
Say?
Wait, I was going to say, I was waiting for you to say what?
Huh?
What? And that's where the expression came from.
Did you say something, Nick?
No, I didn't.
All I can hear is the key of F.
Right, exactly. And then, of course, there was one fly that was a little bit tone deaf and was off by a third, and then that's when they created harmonies. Short order cook. Now, you've been in the restaurant for many, many years. Have you ever been a short order cook?
I don't like to think that, Nick.
Right.
But I've made eggs sometimes.
That's right. So short order cooking is the preparation of inexpensive restaurant foods that are quick to cook. Many small eateries serve only short order items, which includes like griddled or fried and grilled foods and sandwiches, etc. Short order cooking is common at Greasy Spoons and diners, a place where Roy and I have often frequented over the years. Earlier in our youth, yes. A cook responsible for a short order cooking is called a short order cook. Now, according to the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics, it defines the role of a short order cook as those who prepare and cook a variety of foods that require only a short preparation time. Makes sense.
Cold feet. Where did that come from, Nick?
Well, marriage, because after 20 some odd years, like, oh, my feet are cold. Is that what that means? They got to rub them? No?
Yeah,
No? Okay. I got it all wrong then.
You're lucky my wife gets into bed with me, nevertheless. Rub my feet. Cold feet refers to soldiers who would wait in these trenches before they attacked, and it was winter, and their feet would freeze. They'd get frostbite of the toes. and they would lose feeling in their feet, so they were unable to run across the battlefield. And they were told, go, charge, and they couldn't because their feet were frozen. So they'd say, they just didn't do it because they had cold feet, because some soldiers would say, my feet are cold, so I can't go into battle, and use it as an excuse not to do something.
And usually that expression is referred to when someone backs out of a marriage or of a wedding, actually, right? Because they got cold feet. Wow.
Right.
They were left high and dry. It's an expression that someone who needed help did not have anyone that would come to their aid. So they left high and dry. It comes from the shipping world, where a ship would dock when the tide was in, got dry docked or stranded when the tide went out. The ship was left high and dry.
Oh, wow. See, another good one. This is great expressions. I can't believe we found all of these. This is awesome. Here's another one, Nick. One for the road.
Oh, yes.
Right?
Unless you're
just have one for the road, you tell the bartender, right?
Yeah, unless you're an airlines pilot, of course.
Yeah, and they had that in a song too. One for the road.
Yeah, it was just like that. And the person who sang it was drunk. But
exactly.
go on.
Well, the guy was drunk. He couldn't remember the words either.
For sure.
One for the road. It's from the Middle Ages in England. The condemned that were being put to death would be placed on a cart. They would be driven from the prison to the town square, where they would have their heads chopped off or been hung or whatever the hell they were going to do to torture and kill them.
Lovely.
But they would stop before the town square at one of the local taverns and allow the condemned to have one for the road before they went.
Jeez.
So the saying "one for the road" is literally their last wish of a drink.
It's almost like, the last meal. One last meal before they get
last supper.
Exactly.
Nick and Roy will continue with totally useless information.
The Boxing Day sale at Tom's Place is here. As a proud Canadian retailer, this is the right time for the best sale. Hi, Nick and Roy for Tom's Place.
We love bringing you incredible Boxing Week deals all through December. We're here for you every day, except Christmas and New Year's, with amazing discounts waiting.
We are fully stocked with a fantastic range of inventory and eager to move it all. Unbeatable deals on shirts, sweaters, pants, coats, sports jackets, suits, and more. Prices you won't believe.
Like top designers, Ted Baker suits made in Italy and Canada, regularly $900 to $1,100. Get ready, they're incredibly priced, $500. And totally useless information. Listeners can ask Tom. Tom stands for Take Off More. Don't be confused with Tom's last job as a Chippendale dancer. But our listeners, specifically, when you go there, you say, I'm a totally useless information listener, Tom. Can you do more? Can you take off more, Tom?
And they've asked Roy to do that, but then they told him to put it back on. Plus, ask for our gift certificates, the perfect one-size-fits-all gift for anyone on your list.
Check online at toms-place.com. That's toms-place.com for all details about their specials and special hours.
Tom's Place Boxing Week sale happening now at 190 Baldwin Street in Kensington Market. We're ready to suit you. Tom's Place.
We're back with totally useless information with Nick and Roy. Listen, laugh, and learn.
Einstein was a moron. Newton was a jerk. E equals nothing. It's science, science, science.
Mm-hmm.
It's science, science. I love that jingle. That's my favorite.
Yep.
The body is amazing. A couple of episodes ago, we learned that the eye can see about 10 million different shades of color.
I'm still counting them, yes.
Yes. Isn't that amazing? 10 million different shades of color. It pixelates them, and then we see an image so clear.
Yeah.
Isn't that amazing?
It is.
But here's another staggering number. The nose can remember 50,000 different scents. So when we smell a rose, we know it's a rose. When we smell something else, we know exactly what it is.
Yes, exactly.
But we can keep our nose understands the scent, files it in our brain, and we can store over 50,000 individual scents,
Wow. That's
which
interesting.
is in America that would be $500.
Right, yeah. But here's the thing, though. Someone would have to come up with the idea saying, you know what, I wonder how many different scents that our nose can sense.
Yeah.
And so they came up with this idea. Then they would have to sit there and do this research, extensive research, for them to discover 50,000 of them. Wow.
Yeah, that's a lot of stuff to smell.
It is. Well,
That's a
especially when,
lot of empty brown paper bags.
yes, of course.
Remember when we were kids, they would do that at like the science fair?
Yeah.
Put your hand in this bag, put
Yeah.
your nose on this bag.
That's right. Yeah, now we use it for when we hyperventilate. Polar night occurs in the Canadian territory of Nunavut, and it happens during November. Now, Nunavut is way up north in the territories here in Canada. Polar night occurs in the regions located above the Arctic Circle, where the sun does not rise above the horizon for an extended period of time. This phenomenon happens because of the tilt of the Earth's axis, causing these regions to experience continuous darkness for very limited daylight. And in some parts of Nunavut, especially in the far northern regions of it, polar night begins in November and lasts for weeks or even months, depending how far north you are, in complete darkness.
I've always told Nick you look so much better in Nunavut.
Right. I'm in the dark here. Understand?
I'm in the dark here. I'll take a flamethrower to this place.
Yes.
Now, we don't like the scent of a woman.
Yes. With cold feet.
That's one of the 50,000, by the way, scent of a woman.
That's right. Yes. Good point.
Now, this next one is not mine, but Uranus.
Yes. Uranus.
The planet Uranus
Uranus.
is tilted. Uranus is tilted at a 90. It's tilted at a 98-degree angle.
Right.
That's almost horizontal. 100% would be horizontal.
That's right.
So it's not like the Earth, which is basically up and down. It's side to side. So it spins up and down, not right to left. It's one of the only planets that spins up and down on its axis, not right to left.
Kind of reminds me of the doorstop invention I talked about earlier, the rising butt. It's not the same thing, I don't think.
Yeah, pretty much, I would think.
Yeah.
I would think if you stand in one spot in the middle there, you'll go flying right off the planet.
Exactly.
So
Now-
much for Uranus.
Yes. Now, it's a real pain right there. Now, earlier, maybe this is a theme in the show, but earlier we talked about this product where, you're in a mosh pit and you have to go to the bathroom and maybe, you can just take care of things. But really, according to science, holding your pee, is not a good thing. So if you do it every so often, generally you think it's harmless, but there are some cases in which behavior can pose threats to your health, especially if it's a regular learned behavior, according to Dr. Jason Kim.
You want to let it out, Nick.
Well, exactly.
You just want to let it out.
Dr. Jason Kim, a clinical associate professor of urology, not myology, but urology, at the Renaissance School of Medicine at Stony Brook University on Long Island. These risks stem from the reasons why we urinate in the first place. So, according to Dr. Kim, there's a complex neurological system that controls urination. Your kidneys make urine, and then it's funneled down to the tubes called ureters to the bladder. We all know this. The normal bladder...
Do we, Nick?
Yes, we do. Now, here's something really interesting. The normal bladder's capacity is about 400 to 600 cubic centimeters, or 400 to 600 milliliters, or 13 to 20 fluid ounces, to give you a reference. Once the bladder...
That's not even one big gulp.
No, it's not, exactly. But once the bladder's about half full, nerve receptors tell the brain it's time to go pee. And the brain tells your bladder to hold it until a socially acceptable time to urinate. Now, you're wondering, and I see the look on your face, you're wondering...
Yeah, I'm wondering, what the hell is a socially perfect time to urinate?
I know that you're wondering why we built this way. Because if we just peed as we were just walking along, the predators would smell us. And
Oh.
so through evolution or whatever, it was really important for us to urinate. There you go.
Yep. There you go. You know, I read that book, Yellow Streams by I.P. Daly.
Right.
It was a great book. And now we're going to talk about Neptune.
Yes.
It has Chicago beat. And by saying that, I mean this. And you're going to love this one, Nick.
Yeah.
The winds on Neptune routinely clock in at 1,500 miles per hour. Now, I went through Hurricane Helene
Yes.
and Hurricane Ian. I think Ian was like, 106 miles per hour was the top clock on it. 106. This is 1,500 miles an hour. It would obliterate most structures in its way.
For sure. Wow.
So much for a beautiful two-story home in Neptune.
Yes. And of course, Neptune is downwind from Uranus.
Yeah, you talk about passing wind.
Yes. So we've heard of intermittent fasting.
Yes.
It's a dietary.
As opposed to intermittent slowing, which is what I do.
No, but this is fasting where it's a dietary pattern where there's a time restriction on eating and one eats for a certain amount of time each day and fast for the rest of the day. Now, according to some research, doing this can affect or impact hair growth. Okay. Now, being follically challenged, I was really curious about this. So the mice in this experiment were shaved and then fed, in this intermittent fasting routine. Upon analysis, scientists found that the mice had partial hair regrowth after 90 days compared to the other group, the control group, that had regrown most of its hair after 30 days.
Oh, so fasting, you lose your hair?
That quickly, yes. Researchers have believed that this is happening because hair follicle stem cells required for hair growth cannot handle the oxidative stress caused by the body switching from using glucose to fat, etc., during intermittent fasting. So, of course, we don't give you any medical advice. Thank goodness we don't. But all we can say is check with your doctor if you wish to go on one of these intermittent diets, because it's not for everyone.
Especially because the fasting never worked for Nick losing weight, but he did certainly lose his hair.
That's right. Exactly. I lost something.
He fasted and fastly gained weight.
Right. Yes. Right on.
Okay. SMSSJ031300.36-670839. I hope all of you got that. Wait, 0.3.
Wait a minute. Okay, that's great. Now cover your right eye and repeat it.
Now, really, honestly, Nick, that's a long set of numbers and letters. It is the name of the oldest star in our universe. SMSSJ031300.36-670839.3 is 13.6 billion years old.
Wow.
That's what they assume.
Right.
That it is 13.6 billion years old, the oldest star in the universe. Nick was there when it was born.
Yes. And I lost count after 0.2.
It was a hot baby shower.
It was. Oh, wow.
Nick and Roy will continue with totally useless information.
Thank you for joining us. nickandroy.com is the website that you go to. You can check out all of the previous episodes. You go to the bottom of nickandroy.com and you can sign up for our newsletter, our VIP, Totally Useless VIP newsletter. You can join our mailing list, and we promise not to spam you. We're not that good. We don't spam you, and we don't sell your information, so it's safe with us. nickandroy.com, you click on the bottom, and then
we don't sell your information. We keep it to ourselves.
That's right. And also, someone asked us if we use any AI, artificial intelligence, on our show, and I assure them, no. We don't use any intelligence on this show, artificial or otherwise. nickandroy.com.
You're listening to Totally Useless Information with Nick and Roy. Listen, laugh, and learn.
What's in the mailbag? What's in the mail?
Harper was in the mailbag.
Mm-hmm.
That's a name you don't see every day. Harper.
No. Okay.
She's from New Zealand.
Oh.
Another country on our list of 70. How many? 78 now?
Well, it's over 75, so we're still trying to calculate the rest of the other countries, but it's over 75.
Yeah, over
for sure.
75 countries, New Zealand being one of them. Harper S. She says, your show is amazing. I like her already. You both are really great. She's really on a roll.
Yes, yes.
Your show should be played. Now get ready for this one, Nick, and I like this idea. Your show should be played in school to teach our kids who could really use it. Your information is more information than my child gets in school.
Oh.
I literally force my child to listen to you. Now, see how they have to force these kids to do this?
Yes, of course.
She said the word force, but she said, I force my child, LOL, to listen to your show every week.
Wow.
And my child is better off for it. Harper, thank you, thank you, thank you. Yes, this information that we have, whether it be totally useless or not, it is really cool stuff. So, and it's stuff that may at some point in their lives, they're going to use this as like a come on for an elevator pitch or something in their lives. And it is really important to know these crazy, crazy facts. I think New Zealand was made a country in the 1500s. At this point, I think it's a little pretentious for them to say New Zealand. It should be Old Zealand.
Right. Frank from Milwaukee, Wisconsin wrote to us and said, Dear Nick and Roy, we love listening to your show. We never miss it. First, we go to your website.
He said Schlemiel, Schlemazel, Hoffenpfeffer Incorporated.
Right. Hoffenpfeffer went to our website, nickandroy.com, and he wrote nickandroy.com because it's burned in their brain now, nickandroy.com. Then we downloaded your previous episode. Now, here's my question. I'm afraid of thunder and lightning. Thanks for listening, Frank, but what it was. Is there a name for this? I would like for you guys to find out.
It's called astrophobia.
Thank you very much. But here, however...
The fear of thunder and lightning.
Is astrophobia?
Phobia.
Okay. Now, first of all, let me tell you that up here in Canada, one of our radio stations, CKLW, on the iHeartRadio Talk Network, which is where we're on, coast to coast to coast in Canada, Windsor, Ontario is the thunderstorm capital of Canada. Over 251 lightning flashes per 100 square kilometers happen every year when small pieces of frozen raindrops collide within the thundercloud. Other places that experience a lot of thunder, a remote part of Venezuela, is Catatumbo River meets Lake Maracaibo. It's a stunning location, but also home to a unique meteorological phenomenon where a storm chaser's dream is the Catatumbo lightning. And in the United States, Texas tops the list. 42 million lightning strikes in 2023 alone. On the show today, we talked about inventions, we talked about expressions, we talked about science. It's time for the news.
And now, from around the corner and around the world, this is TUI News.
All right, here it is, the Disco John. A chain of Kentucky convenience stores are attracting visitors and is going viral online for an unusual feature. When you go into their bathroom, a button turns on the disco dance party. Okay?
Oh, my God.
So 6 hop shops, I guess they call hop, locations in northern Kentucky have big red buttons installed in their bathrooms with a sign reading, do not push this button. Like, don't walk on the grass when people walk on the grass.
It's not just raining men in there.
Hallelujah. Mary Moss, the manager of the hop shops in Walton, says a winking photo of mascot Hopper the Frog on the sign is meant to indicate to customers they should actually push the button. And
you sit down, Nick, you push the button and it goes, what a feeling!
Yes. Pushing the button activates colored lights, a disco ball, and music in the bathroom, turning it into a miniature dance club. The bathrooms have been proven to be a big draw, and workers at the hop shops are reporting that many people come into the stores just to experience the disco bathrooms. Video documentation, wait a minute, there's video in there that happens, what happens when someone pushes the button and then goes viral on social media. Really, seriously, like, they have cameras in the bathrooms?
I think the people are just filming themselves almost like a one of them selfie videos.
Right, okay,
like
yeah.
TikTok.
Yeah,
And
probably.
they press the button and it's like, it's raining man. Psh, hallelujah.
According to the manager, she had a 60-year-old woman come out of the bathroom and told her that it was the best day of her life.
Yes, it was the best day of my life. Oh my God.
She had the time of her life.
Have you been to Kentucky?
No, I haven't. I think you have.
I have been all over Kentucky. I literally scoured the entire state.
Yeah.
From the beautiful horse tracks, like the Kentucky Downs, and I forget the name of the other one that we went to. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
And we got to see baby horses that were a day old and just really, really cool stuff. But Kentucky can be an awfully interesting place. So I am not shocked that they have disco bathrooms.
Well, if
I would be a little more shocked if they have punk rock bathrooms.
Well, this was the brainchild of the retail marketing manager, Damon Bale. The first bathroom was installed, the first disco bathroom, of course, was installed at the Hop Shop in Verona in February of 2023 and proved to be such a big hit. The company started expanding them to other locations, and there's a 6th disco bathroom opening in Florence, Kentucky.
Yeah, and there's a picture of Damon with a white suit and black shirt and a members only jacket on. I think that is a great media thing. I really do. That is so smart.
Yeah.
I love stuff like that.
Yeah. So some of the songs they like to play in there, I would imagine, would be "I Will Survive," "Don't Leave Me This Way." Here's one,
Yeah.
"Car Wash."
Yeah. You know what I think? I would like gas station bathrooms to have outside of the bathroom like a clothesline at which you could take the clothespin off, put it on your nose, and then enter the bathroom because most of them stink.
Exactly. And of course, let's not forget, "Ring My Bell." That's all the time. That's all the time we have for this episode of.
That's for a very private. That's for a private encounter.
Yes. Thanks for joining us. This is the end of this episode of
Good
Totally.
thing they haven't played "Love to Love You, Baby."
Yes. This episode has come to an end of Totally Useless Information with Nick and Roy. Thank you very much for joining us. We will continue to scour the internet far and wide well into 2025, and we will find more totally useless information just for you.
And let's all say goodbye to Nick, and I'll stay on the show for a while. It is because of you and you alone that this show has become so successful and so popular, and we do thank you, and we do it for you. It truly is a labor of love, and we thank you, and we thank all our friends out there who email us and go to nickandroy.com. It is fantastic. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Please, again, tell a friend about the trend. Tell them about Totally Useless Information with Nick and Roy.
And remember, next week we have a very merry, totally useless Christmas show around the world. I'm Nick.
And I'm Roy.
Thanks for listening.
Totally Useless Information with Nick and Roy has been brought to you in part by Tom's Place, the finest in men's fashion. Located in Toronto at 190 Baldwin Street in the heart of Kensington Market. Or visit toms-place.com.